Many Apple Watch models come with solid safety measures, but the siren is only available on the new Apple Watch Ultra. In an emergency, users of every Apple Watch can use the Emergency SOS feature, but the Apple Watch Ultra has an even louder siren that can warn people from miles away. This video will discuss the Apple Watch Ultra Siren Test, life-saving SOS signals. First, the Apple Watch Ultra is the only Apple Watch with a built-in 86 decibel emergency siren. It is clear that this device is an attempt by Apple to create an improved fitness tracker geared for extreme activities. In the smartwatch sector, Apple has established a monopoly thanks to several revisions of the Apple Series Watch over the years. Apple's target market for the Apple Watch Ultra is the extreme sports and fitness smartwatch market, which the regular Apple Watch hasn't broken into. Now, the Apple Watch Ultra's Sirens feature isn't the first to be developed to contact authorities in a crisis. In an emergency, Apple Watches have an SOS emergency signal that can be used to contact emergency services and notify loved ones. These potentially life-saving additions are often overlooked until it's really needed. If you hold your Apple Watch's power button for 5 seconds, the device will activate Emergency SOS and notify the proper authorities. Apple Watches with cellular connectivity can use Emergency SOS whenever a connection is available. Apple Watches without cellular connectivity require proximity to an iPhone. While the Emergency SOS can alert authorities and emergency personnel in the event of a crisis, the Apple Watch Ultra Siren serves a very different purpose than Emergency SOS. The Apple Watch Ultra Siren has larger speakers. The siren speakers emit a piercing sound to notify nearby persons of a possible emergency. This is an excellent alternative when there is little to no cell service. For instance, a hiker has fallen and needs assistance can use the siren to signal for aid from surrounding hikers. However, is it possible for the Apple Watch Ultra Siren to make such a loud noise? Keep watching to find out soon, since we will discuss this extensively. The purpose of the siren is to get help if you get hurt or lost while adventuring. To accomplish this, Apple equipped the Apple Watch Ultra with a second speaker that can project sound up to 600 feet away at a volume of 86 decibels. When turned on, the siren alternates between two different sound patterns similar to standard SOS calls for help. Activating the siren causes a red border to appear around your watch's display and a call button to get in touch with authorities. In addition, the percentage of battery life you still have will be displayed. Apple claims that the Apple Watch Ultra Siren has a runtime of several hours, though this relies on the battery life remaining when the siren is activated. The alarm can be triggered in several ways, but you need to learn to do an Apple Watch Siren Test so you don't find yourself wondering how to turn it on during an emergency. If you also don't wander on different channels looking for timely information on Apple products, then subscribe to this channel. Our channel has a great deal of timely information for you. Here is how to start the Apple Watch Ultra Siren if you find yourself in an emergency. 1. Using the app's grid or list. The siren has its app that can be accessed from the main app grid or list, depending on how you've arranged your apps. To access the grid or list, press the digital crown. Locate and tap the siren app icon from the grid. It is crimson and has a bullhorn in white in the middle. Your apps are shown alphabetically in the list format. Click Siren as you scroll down. For the siren to sound, press the play button. Tap the same button once more to stop it. You should know that the Siren app grid list is one of the many ways you can activate your Apple Watch Ultra Siren. There's also the action button method, which is even similar to use when switching on your Apple Watch Ultra, so keep watching to find out how. 2. Using the emergency menu. In order to access the emergency menu, hold down the side button. There should be a buzzing sensation. At the top will be the siren slider. To activate, slide the slider from left to right. 3. Using the action button. The action button can also be pressed and held down briefly to activate the siren. You must first enable this option in the action button settings before you can do that though. Launch the Settings app on the watch. Move down to the action button menu. To reach siren, scroll down. Toggle hold to turn it on by tapping it. Toggle hold to turn on by tapping it. As we said earlier, after you activate the life-saving SOS signal, the siren emits a continuous 86 decibel sound at regular intervals. If the Apple Watch's Ultra battery dies or the wearer turns it off, the siren will continue to sound. According to research done at Purdue University, the 86 decibel noise level is on par with that of a running blender or milling machine. The Watch Ultra Siren will play a distress signal that gradually increases in volume. Because of its high volume, the life-saving SOS siren should only be activated in extreme circumstances. Someone's hearing could be damaged if they play the siren inside or held it close to their ear. We hope emergencies avoid you so that you never have to use the Apple Watch Ultra's life-saving SOS signal. But if you are impressed that your Apple Watch Ultra might give you a 1% chance of survival should you find yourself in an emergency, then thumbs up. When using the life-saving SOS siren, you should also be aware that your surrounding noise levels may affect the volume. If you're outdoors or in a large room, for instance, you'll be able to hear it far more clearly than if you were in a forest or amongst a bunch of rocks. As the volume rises, you'll have time to move the watch away from your face before it reaches maximum volume. If you're concerned about the Apple Watch Ultra's battery life, you can always switch to low power mode. To learn more about the battery life of the Apple Watch Ultra, watch this video. 60 hours non-stop. Apple Watch Ultra insane long battery life. You will love it.